oh my god, it's a video that isn't, hey, I want to do more stuff, or a life log. I know, it's a miracle. But hello, yes, it is a video. What the hell was that? I don't know. It is a video. We are back. We are here. We are back with some of the new content. I kind of just want to give some context to this before you saw it. Basically, for the Evolved Pixel Discord, and if you haven't joined, why not? Link in the description. Definitely join. If you haven't joined already, you should join. Anyway, I recently wanted to make some more emojis for it. We had one emoji out of 20, and that emoji is Barria's old avatar. So I really wanted to do some more emojis. So last night I kind of just sat down for about 20 minutes, half an hour. I came up with 4 new emojis. Turns out pretty easy when it's only 32 by 32. And I recorded the behind the scenes of that, the sort of making of those. So yeah, let's have a look. Hello there and welcome to what is essentially just a recording of the art process. Now this is for the first image I did, which was the EP fail emote, and this was basically me trying to make an emote of what was probably the funniest moment on the Call of Duty World at War streams, and of course that was when I picked up an enemy grenade and tried to throw it away. I threw it at the wall, it bounced back, hit me on the head and exploded. Not only is it the funniest moment from those streams, but it is also really an important moment in terms of what the stream was, because it was a Call of Duty World at War streams that really made me into the stream I was. And it's kind of hard to take something like this and turn it into something, because you can see here we've got kind of a context of the wall, but it doesn't really do much. It's just a wall at this point, and you know, so then I decided, okay, well, how about we put an arrow in there? That will help to explain exactly what I'm doing, and now you can watch me failing to make an arrow for a few minutes. Unfortunately, I didn't do a very good job when it came to making an arrow, but there we go. I never claimed to be a fantastic artist, although I will admit I do have a fair amount of experience with pixel art. Now at that time I was kind of just satisfied with the arrow. I thought, right, well, I'll just leave it like that for now and we'll go back to it in the future. So instead I decided to start working on the wall. Now the wall was actually nice and easy to do. I kind of went for more of a Minecraft style wall, which is absolutely not what it would have originally looked like. But to be honest, I didn't really need the wall to be complicated. I needed it to look like a wall, and that's the one thing you can definitely say about this, is it looks like a wall. Now this was, of course, at this current state, this was roughly how it was when I uploaded it to the chat. However, this was a very early stage, and of course it did change. I did actually upload the version with the original arrow, but as you can see now the arrow is changing. Well, I say it's becoming more like an arrow. It's actually kind of a bit of a failure in becoming an arrow, but there certainly is an attempt to do that there. And you can see this is me sort of thinking, yeah, this will work. This is me measuring to make sure it's right on both sides, and then making sure everything looks like it's in the right position. But you see now, this is very much me thinking, okay, this isn't this doesn't quite explain what I want to explain, so I added an additional arrow to kind of show the effect of it hitting the wall and then bouncing back, and that was the original intention. But as you can see now, I've actually gotten rid of that grenade. The reason why is because I used the American style grenade, but that wasn't what was thrown in the video, and I'm afraid I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to getting things right. So I decided, you know what, it's not that big a deal, it's not that much hard work, I will replace the grenade with an accurate one. And I actually think it looks pretty good. If anything, I'd say it looks more like a grenade than the original one did, although admittedly not a style we use anymore. And now it's just very much a case of colouring it in. I thought I kept the black lines, things like that, because at this point I was still very much working on it. I was uploading versions to the Discord. There's some cuts here which you can't actually see when I actually uploaded it and tested it, and there we go. Now this is for the second emote, which is the Happy Dance emote, and this was kind of a mess up on my part, which is why I put oops there, because I was supposed to record the whole process and I kind of forgot. But basically you can see the sort of rough shape of a man that we went for. Now it's just the process of colouring it in. Now, you may not know this if you do not watch my Minecraft series, and in fact, even if you do watch it, you may not know this, because I don't particularly show it that much. But this is based on the skin that I use in Minecraft. It's basically the Steve skin, but with the t-shirt changed from a plain blue t-shirt into a red creeper t-shirt. I think the trousers are also a slightly darker colour, but it's not a huge change. I made that skin, I don't even know how many years ago, and I like it. It's plain, it's basic, and I could certainly make something a lot better, but honestly I like it as it is, so I kept it, and I've been using that way before Evolved Pixel was even a channel. You know, way before I did anything. You can see obviously now we're kind of working a bit on the creeper design. Chest, kind of, there we go. It's me sort of trying to, that was a bit of a pause there because I was looking up what a creeper mouth looked like. I had actually forgotten what a creeper mouth looked like, considering how many times I have done creepers that you'd think I would have remembered, but apparently not. And you can see now I'm trying to do the shading. Now a lot of people who do pixel art don't use paint, especially these days, but when I used to do pixel art when I was 14, 15, the community I was with always viewed sort of using Photoshop or things like that for pixel art as cheating. It was seen as a very easy way to do it, and yeah, it was basically cheating. It was seen as, you know, the lazy way of doing it. It was the quick, easy way of doing it, and so the majority of people who were there, myself included, we didn't use paint. We didn't use Photoshop, we used MS Paint. It wasn't even this version we used, it was an older version which actually may, in some cases, actually had some more features than this version does. And while this is by no means that great a program to use, it is certainly very basic. I like the simplicity of it. I like the fact that I can work one pixel at a time, and it really works well for my style. I love the precision that it affords me. I feel that over Photoshop effects is the most important thing in the world. Now this is the emoji for Lucky, which is basically a lucky slime from Slime Launcher. This was suggested to me by Player Pixel, not really much of a surprise considering it is his avatar, but he thought it would be a good symbol for when somebody got lucky, and I have to admit I did agree with him. I thought it was a good idea, so I decided to make a lucky slime. And this one, actually, I was smart in the fact that I started the recording process at the start. However, I did unfortunately skip a little bit in the middle, which I can only apologise for. Now you can see obviously I've kind of got a shape, and I'm trying to put the coin in. Basically the pause at the start was me trying to essentially look at the picture and make sure I'm getting it right, and make sure I'm getting the colours right and the style. And I think I actually did a very good job on this, because especially when you're only dealing with 32 by 32 pixels, it can be very difficult to actually get it, well, anything other than just you know what it is. You know, you have such a little amount of space to do anything with. You really have to be precise. You know, it doesn't always necessarily look that good up close, but the important thing is it looks good at that distance. You know, 32 by 32 pixel is a very small amount of space to get a lot of detail into. That being said, I do feel with these emotes, although they are not perfect, although they could perhaps be a little better, I do feel like I did a particularly good job, especially as someone who's done maybe one pixel drawing in 10 years, or no, 2 pixel drawing in 10 years. This is kind of my real, you know, with the exception of one little pixel drawing I did, which was my Slime Launcher drawing, this is really the first thing I've done in quite a while. And you can see there we've kind of got the mouth and the face, and there's the cut from what I said. This was me forgetting and once again apologising through the means of talking to you in the recording. That's how I actually used it. Basically I just essentially coloured the mouth in and the body, and I came up with those little patterns on the side, which is what you see on there. And already I think it's actually looking pretty realistic, But we don't need to worry about the grey now. We need to deal with the coin or medal, which is sitting on his head, which we're also colouring in now with 2 different shades of gold. We'll colour the ears in, and that was me accidentally checking the chat, but that's looking pretty good now, isn't it? It's looking a lot like a slime now. Of course, as we always do, we are colouring in the outsides because I find the black lines tend to make it look less realistic, whereas you use the slightly darker colour lines, it looks a lot more, I suppose, realistic. Black lines never look realistic to me. I always try and avoid them wherever I can. I mean, look at that. Does that not look so much better? Okay, now we are working on the final drawing, which of course is the Tim, or the Chickadoo. Now, Tim is kind of based on a running joke in the stream started by Player Pixel. Basically, one of the achievements to get in Slime Master is to sacrifice a Chickadoo by throwing it into a furnace. Now, Player Pixel didn't particularly want to do that. It's the one achievement he hadn't got, and I said to him that at the end of the day, you know, it's just a game. If he really wants the achievement, he should do it, and he did it. He named the Chickadoo that he had to sacrifice Tim, and since then it's kind of become a little bit of a running joke. He even has a monument to Tim, and I've even considered doing some pixel art to do with Tim and the shrine to Tim. So it kind of just made sense to me that one of the emojis that we were going to go for is the Chickadoo. And actually trying to come up with something that is that detailed at this scale was incredibly difficult. It certainly was challenging because you really got to get the shape and the look of it right, but you don't have a lot of space to really get it, so you have to really struggle. Now, see a little bit of a cut there. The 3 colours appeared. Basically, I was getting the colours completely wrong, and I knew it, so I actually went and got the colours directly from the artwork, and that made this wonderful, beautiful Chickadoo. And I think he looks beautiful. You see we're doing a little bit of shading now. We also do get rid of the black line. I think we may have done that off camera, but yeah, he's looking absolutely gorgeous. So that was the new emoji. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I know paint is kind of a weird choice of program to use, but for me it's just what I know. Anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, hope to see you all real soon.